to make myself. But yeah, we're gonna start on the floor. We're actually gonna start in a plank series, but all four in the little cat cow, and then we will stand. Perfect. So meet me in that all four position, and then just start to go through that nice and slow cat cow here, dropping that tailbone down to the mat before you lift it back up. I'm just getting my watch going for us. Courtney, you'll appreciate my berries. Other Courtney and I have used to take the berries classes together, but it does completely change your running. I'm like, I don't remember running like this, and I'm so scared I'm going to go flying off the treadmill in our sprints, but I'm getting my, my inspiration to try to do it again as I hit these like PRs that the person next to me will be on like at a 12 or a 13. And I'm like, I think I can get to a 10. Take that big inhale and just take your time as you're rolling through that spine, really lifting it up. I want you to just stay here for the next 20 seconds, lowering that belly button down. We've got 4 changes in our plank. We're going to go through it 2 times. You've done these with me before, but I just want you to take your time. Come back into your neutral spine for me. Your hands are right at the front of the mat. Gaze stays at those hands. You're going to bring your right foot back and that left foot back. And then you're just going to find that high plank for me right here. We're taking our time. If wrists are not in your favor today, then you are welcome to make a fist, or you can go ahead and come down to your forearms. But we've got some side planks, some bear holds right here. I want you to just stay in that high plank for me. We're going through it twice. I'm not going to cue a break in between. You're going to take the break if you need it, but you're just going to find your breath. You can stay here forever. This is a strong group. Take one more big inhale here for me. Option always to keep those legs together for that extra challenge. If you need to open up those legs, you can always open up those feet to help. And then if you feel like you need to modify, you'll come down to those knees. From here, I want you to walk your knees in and find your bear crawl hold right here. Staying in that plank for me, spreading fingertips out nice and wide. Knees are still hovering above that mat, and you're feeling that belly button pull in right here. Legs are going to extend back in about 15 seconds. We're going to come down to our forearms. You have about 12 seconds left right here. Walking feet out first before you come down to your forearms in 8, in 7, good, in 6, keep belly button plugged in here for 3 and 2, walk right foot out, left foot out, come down to your forearms for me, and then hold on to that. Your last changes are in that side plank, but stay in your forearm here for me. We have about 20 seconds. As you're here, I know you're just getting warm, so it's hard to just come right into it. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, think about pressing your forearms into the mat. Use your breath here, and as you pull belly button towards your spine to contract your abs, you're going to give me a nice squeeze of your glutes. Walk your left hand over to your right elbow for me, and then open that right hand up. Find your side plank right here. Only one change left before we come back through center. I want you to think as you're here in that side plank, how high can you get those hips? Don't let that arm start to open up or fall in front of you. Try to keep that wrist right above your shoulder as you press into that mat for me. Take a big inhale here. In 8 seconds, you're going to make an equal sign. Right forearm comes through. Left forearm is going to reach all the way up in 5, 4, good, 3 and 2. Bring that right forearm through center. Open that left arm all the way up to the top and just take the big inhale here for me. You're right about to that halfway point. If you ever need a break, you're going to take it and then you're just going to join me stronger. But I want you to think about your breath. You have 12 seconds right here. You're coming back through center. I need you to walk back up to your high plank. Take your time getting there. It's not a rush. In 3, come back through center for me right now. Find your center forearm plank. Open up those feet if you need to. Walk up to your hand. Second round right here. You're already into it. So you're going to spread your fingertips out nice and wide. You're going to pull your belly button towards your spine. Think to yourself, look to the edge of your mat. Your neck is going to want to start to fall. Your knees and toes aren't doing anything. So you're just going to keep breathing, keep pressing into that mat for me. You're going into that bear crawl. I'm going to push you in this change only. It's the only time I'm going to ask you to move. You still have about 15 seconds. When you walk your knees right onto your hips, you're going to find that bear plank hold. And then I want you to go into your shoulder taps. I'm going to challenge you. You're going to feel the front of your thighs fire up. Walk knees in 3, in two. So walk those knees right underneath of those hips, and then you're gonna hold here. Your hips do not move. You tap left shoulder, you tap right shoulder. So notice how slow and controlled you're going here, because you're really trying to stabilize through that core, not letting your hips move. If you have to release for a second, you can. You get right back into it. In 10 seconds, you're gonna walk those feet back. Stay with this change. Find that extra challenge. In 8 seconds, you're gonna walk those feet back for me. We're headed down to that forearm plank. You're doing great. You're almost there. In 3, in 2, hold center for me. Walk your feet back. Walk down to your forearm plank. You have this. Here's that final little bit. You got a minute and a half, and then you're out of this. We're gonna find a child's pose. We'll finish our stretch. As you're pressing into that forearm plank, can you take a big breath? Can you really contract through those abs? Give me a slight tuck of that tailbone under and breathe right here. 15 seconds. And you're going to walk that left hand to that right elbow and open up into that left side plank. Keep your hips nice and high. You've got it. Last 10 and 9. You're here for 8. That left hand walks to that right elbow in 5, 4, 3, and 2 on 1. Left hand walks over to that right elbow. Reach that hand up nice and high. Now think, can I take a big inhale? On the exhale, can I lift my hips? Even if it's just a centimeter, what can you change in this second round through? Is it your breath? Can you relax your shoulders? Can you think to yourself, where can I engage? Where can I really squeeze through that core? 10 seconds right here. You're going to make that equal sign. Right forearm comes through. That left arm is going to extend towards the ceiling. In 6, in 5, finish nice and strong. In 4, 3, 2, find that equal sign. Find that opposite side plank. As you're here, this is a challenge. Your hips are going to want to roll forward and back. You're now fatigued. You are going to come through center. You're going to give me a 10-second hold in the center before you find that rest. You've got less than 15 seconds on this right side. Can you take a big breath? Can you squeeze your glutes? Lift your hips that centimeter for me. In 8 seconds, you're back through center. Just give me 10 seconds and then you're out of it. In 5 seconds, you're back through center. In 4, 3, good. In 2, everybody comes back through center. Find that center hold, glue your legs together, because I know you don't want to. You want to go right into that break. 5 seconds in a child's pose. 4, 3, 2, really nice work. First series done. Warm-up's over. Open knees up nice and wide. Take a big inhale, bring your seat back towards those heels. And then as you're reaching, let your chest start to hit the top of those thighs as you inch those fingertips forward. Stay here for about 10 seconds and just enjoy the stretch. Big inhale here. Big exhale. Good. We're going to do a couple hip openers and a little bit in those legs before we stand. So we've got some standing series. You're going to come back into your all 4 position here. If you need to, you're going to make a fist. It's only 3 changes each side. I'm more so just trying to wake up and give those glutes a little stretch. And we're going to stand and get into some deadlift work. Flex through your foot here for me. You're going to go into that donkey kick, and then you're going to lower down with control. It's just that quick transition. It's 3 big movements here as we open up hips and start to work on those glutes and hammies. I want you to keep your heel squeezing towards your seat. I'm fine if you have your Balas on, but what I want you to think about as you're squeezing, this is slow and controlled. You're right back to the basics. Your heel stays towards your seat. You're pressing that mat away from you, and you are squeezing from your center booty. You're going to feel the line right under your butt start to fire up. In 10 seconds, we're going to turn this into a fire hydrant instead of that donkey kick. In 4, in 3, good. In 2, give me one more kick towards that ceiling. And now you're just going to open up out to the side and lower down. For my friends whose wrists start to bother them, I'm okay if you bring yourself either down to that one forearm, so your left forearm down, right hand up. I don't want your hips to open up though. I want you to stay square. We're going to put these 2 moves together as that final change, just so you know where you're headed. You've got about 15 seconds. Lift, squeeze. Now you're in that outside corner pocket of your booty going down that outer thigh. 10 and 9. You've got 8 and 7. Perfect. 6. If you came down to that forearm, it might feel better if you come back up as we put the 2 together. I'm going to cue it on your hands in 3, in 2. So you're going to give me 1 donkey kick, and then you're going to give me 1 of those fire hydrants. You should be feeling the warmth in your glute. I know it's only 3 changes, but just because you're in those bigger movements, you're really squeezing from your glute right here. Extra challenge if you decide to do this recording is to put that weight behind your knee if you want to get right into it. But we're just kind of finishing up that warm up. You have 15 seconds here, and then we're going to go into a little bit of a wrist stretch, and then we'll switch sides. Keep your heel flexed for me, like you're trying to reach that heel towards the ceiling and towards your butt. As you bring that knee in, you exhale, squeeze center booty, lift it back up. When that knee comes down, exhale, squeeze outer thigh, and then you lift into that fire hydrant. You only have 5 seconds here. Can you give me one more each direction? And then I want you to come all the way down and sit on your butt in 3, in 2, on 1, just sit back on those heels. Take those hands, you're gonna pull right fingertips towards you. Find a little bit of a stretch in your forearms. Good. Big inhale here. Nice. And then take that arm, right arm, and bring it right across your chest. Slight little push into that left arm, rolling out that wrist opposite direction. Take right ear towards right shoulder. It's just a little bit of a stretch for 3 and 2. On 1, open those arms back up, reach left forearm forward, take those fingertips, slight little press. We're just going through that warm up. It's a little bit of a break for your booty. And then you'll bring that left arm across your chest, rolling out your wrist, pressing into that right arm, and then slightly dropping that left ear towards your left shoulder for 3 and 2. We come back into it. We're standing after this, so give me 1 more minute and a half right here. Press through those hands. If you need to come onto your forearms for this first change, you can flex your foot. We're going to lift up, squeeze your cheek, come all the way back down. We're right into it. Other side. Lift up, squeeze, and then lower down with control. Just trying to give you that nice little warm up and stretch while we get your booty ready to go. Again, left side is working, but right side is stabilizing. Right side might be a little bit fatigued, but your dominant side is stabilizing for you. My friends who want that extra challenge, just press that right hand right on your right quad and show yourself that balance. Good. Lower down with control. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Your heel stays towards your cheek. Everyone's breathing. Look right to the edge of that mat for me. As you press into that donkey kick, I want you to think to yourself, big inhale as you lower, you exhale, you squeeze your cheek, you keep that heel as close to your butt as you can so I can have you start to fire up that hamstring. In 5 seconds, you're in your clamshell, which means that right forearm can come down to the mat, left hand can come up. In 3, in 2, show me that clamshell. Good. So instead of center booty and that hamstring, you're now on that outer thigh. I want the foot to stay flexed. I'd like you to keep looking down at the mat and not open up your hips. I want this to stay in your outer thigh and that corner pocket of your booty. It's only 20 more seconds here. You might even feel a little bit of this in your oblique, but you're just breathing through it. As you're in that clamshell, think to yourself, you went from center booty line right under your butt to that corner pocket down your outer thigh. So try to feel the squeeze and where you're working. Put the 2 moves together in 3. In 2, it's 1 donkey kick, 1 clamshell. You can either stay on your forearms or walk back up to your hands, but you're trying to keep your hips square. Focus on your breath. We're getting ready to stand here. So what I want you to think about is as you exhale, you're always either lifting out to the side or you're lifting into your donkey kick. When you're inhaling is when that leg is lowering. I only need 15 seconds left from you. So what I want you to think about here is, can your heel come any closer to your seat? Is your belly button pulled in? That back should be nice and neutral, flat here. No arch in that spine. You've got 5 seconds. In 4 seconds, you're going to stay in your all four. You're lifting into your downward dog. In 3, in 2, on 1, tuck your toes, lift your hips all the way up and start to pedal out those legs. You're out of that nice little warm up first series. Big inhale here as you're bending those knees and extending through. When you're ready, you'll walk hands into your feet into your hands, and you're going to slowly roll yourself up to the top for me. Depending on what props you have, again, you don't need any props. We're going to add in light weights. If you have a band that you want to use, band is going to go right above your knees for the first couple changes. When we go into that single leg work, you'll ditch your band. It's just the option for friends who want to advance it. heavy, medium to heavy band above those knees, and then grab your light weights for me. You're gonna start in just a regular deadlift, like that good morning. You could use a much heavier weight than these light weights, but they're just here to get us warm. So you're gonna hold those weights, they're gonna face your quads. You're gonna reach down, 2, 3, you're gonna hold, 2, 3, lift and squeeze for me. So we come down, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, lift and squeeze. You've got it. 4 more just like that. So I want you to come down with control. Feel the hinge at your hips. You then hold there for those 3 counts. Lift up, squeeze at the top. So again, the hip hinge is what's bringing that chest down. Once you can't get those hips any further back, you hold at the bottom, and then we squeeze to come right to the top. Down, 2, 3, beautiful, hold, 2, 3, lift and squeeze. One more right here. You come down, 2, 3, good, hold, 2, 3, lift and squeeze. Now single it out for me. You're gonna come down. I want you to come halfway up, all the way back down, lift and squeeze. So you're bringing those weights down to that lowest point, come up a couple inches, lower back down, lift and squeeze. So everything's happening in the back of your legs. As you reach those weights down to the floor, you come back up halfway, you lower back down, and then you lift back to the top. So everything's happening in the back half of those legs, but your chest is also working. It stays nice and proud here. And we're gonna hold at that bottom in 3, in 2, turn weights towards one another. Just row for me. You're gonna reach those palms out in front of you. You're gonna squeeze your shoulder blades, slow and controlled. You could have a much heavier weight, so I really need you to think about what you're doing here. It's only 30 seconds. You stand back up, we move on. So you're squeezing those shoulder blades together. Your belly is pulled in, and your hamstrings should be nice and warm. 10 seconds right here. You stand in 8, in 7, and 6. Fight right here to stay nice and controlled. 4, 3, 2, stand all the way up for me. We move on. So keep those weights in your hand. Right toes are lifted now, right at the back of your left foot. You're going into your staggered deadlift. Keep weights in your hands for me. You single it out. You're going to reach all the way down, lift and squeeze. So now you're feeling your left leg working. You barely have any weight in that right ball of your foot. It's kickstanded up so that you can feel that heel lifted. You shoot your hips to the back, and then you squeeze. So you're still reaching those 2 or 3 pound weights just for some added little bit of tension as you're reaching down. If you do have a band above your knees, you're making sure that those knees don't buckle. You keep those knees square. Again, slow, controlled, foundational movement right here. 15 seconds left on this side, just singling it out. We switch into that opposite side after. So your right foot is lifted, barely any weight in the ball of that foot, just in those first 3 toes. You're hinging at your hip. In 5 seconds, we switch. Left heel lifts, right foot is down in 3. And 2, drop right heel down, bring the ball of that left foot right in line with that right heel, and then we get right into it. Now your right side's gonna fire up. Again, you're hinging at your hips. Your hips are square, and they're going right to the back of that room. As you hinge your hips, your chest comes forward. You're not reaching anywhere. When those weights come down to about your knee, mid-shin, you come right back up. Those weights don't have to go to the mat. It's all about your legs. Chest stays proud. You glue shoulder blades together. And then think about looking about 3 feet out in front of you at the floor. You're going to want to look up. You're going to want to peek at me. You don't need to. Think about keeping your gaze nice and neutral at that floor. 10 seconds right here. Good. 8 and 7. My friends who have that band on, you're going to take that band off in 5 seconds. We move on in 4, in 3, good, in 2, last deadlift right here. Now you lift up. If you have the band on, you take that band off. Weights stay in your hands. You come to the front of the mat. You alternate in your reverse lunge at a bicep curl. You lunge back, weights come up, you step together. You lunge back, weights come up, you step together. If that's too much, you can lunge and you can bicep curl at the top. Your extra challenge is going to be to bicep curl at the bottom of that range, just letting those legs get nice and warm. So you were just in your deadlift, thinking about the back of your legs. Now you're in a lunge. As you lunge back, that knee might even kiss the mat. Take your time. I don't want you to feel like you have to rep out a million right here. I want you to be thoughtful in your lunge. You're not on a tightrope. You're thinking about bringing that foot back. You drive through the front heel as you stand together, and then you're giving me that nice bicep curl. You hold at the bottom. Right knee is back. Left foot is forward. Just give me the curl in 3 and 2. Keep right leg back. You curl and release. You curl and release. Again, think right knee is hovering above that mat. You're squeezing and then releasing. Really big squeeze on the tricep here because you could have a much heavier weight. So breathe through it. I need 10 seconds. Your right leg's going to be on fire. I know. Drive through left heel right here. In 8 seconds, you stand up again. You alternate for me in 5 and 4. Turn it into a hammer curl in 3 and 2. Only difference, step together, is as you come back, palms now face each other, squeeze and repeat. Palms face each other, squeeze and repeat. You're still in your lunges, you're almost out of them. All you have is your hold at the bottom left side with your hammer curl, and then you won't have another lunge today. These are quick. 15 seconds here, and then we hold at the bottom. Keep alternating. Shoulders stay relaxed. Heart rate starts to come up right here. In 5 seconds, you're holding left knee back. Right heel drives to the front of that mat. You've got it. 3 and 2. Keep that left knee back. Keep that left knee back. Give me your hammer curls. I want you to think about coming almost all the way up, extend and squeeze. If your weight comes too high up by that shoulder, you're almost taking that rest, and you don't need that rest. Forget that. We want our heart rates up nice and high. 12 seconds right here. As you give me that hammer curl, know that you're going to stand up after this. We're going to drop those weights now that you're warm. We got single leg deadlifts on deck in 3 and 2 on 1. Step together, set your weights down. There's no prop, there's no band. Now let's hit body weight. 3 changes each side. You're gonna be warm and a little bit shaky here. Drive the weight into your left foot. Lift right knee up and hold. Now flex your right foot. Take a big inhale. As you exhale, you contract your abs, relax your shoulder, find your balance. Keep that right knee lifted here for me. Think about how your hips are square. Palms can come to prayer. They can stay on your hips, or you're going to take that advanced movement and you're going to reach with me. We are going to come back, 2, 3, hold, 2, 3, stand and squeeze. It's me. You come back, 2, 3, good. Hold, 2, 3, stand and squeeze. If going slow is too hard, you can hold on to something, but what I want you to think about is I want you to slow down the extension. I know you know how to get there, but when you go back there and you immediately come back up like that seesaw, I want you to feel how strong you are in that left leg. You should be shaky. It's mean how it's stacked. If you wobble out of this a little bit, it's fine. Drive through that left heel. Your right foot is flexed as it shoots to the back of that room. Hands can stay in prayer, pressing together to help you, or you can reach, but I want you to take your time. It's a 3 count out, and then you get to bring everything back together, standing up nice and tall. In 10 seconds, you're holding with that right leg extended. You're either reaching or you're in prayer. It's 3 changes. I know you've got pulses and a hold left. I want you to know where you are. You do not have any lunges left. Hold for me in 4, get the last extension, come back up one more time so you can take that rest. And then I want you to find that nice hold at the bottom. Give me a soft bend in that left knee. Yes. Extend through right leg. That right cheek should be as hard as a rock. You press palms together. Now you pulse down an inch and up an inch. Left leg pulses down an inch and up an inch. Yes, you can. Down an inch and up an inch. You have 1 hold left. You hold on to something if you need. Really beautiful balance, Kathleen. You've got it. 10 seconds and we hold. So you're right there. The hold is the worst part of this because you're going to breathe through it. You're going to pick a spot on the mat. In 3, you hold for me. Yes, you can. In 2, you hold for me. Everyone freeze. Option to reach those arms long. Option to be in prayer. But I need you to think to yourself as that left leg is down, that right leg is extended, squeeze through your glute, soft bend in that left leg. You can do this. Keep toes pointing down. Hold for 8. Hold for 7. You're out of it in 6. In 5, last 4, and 3. Nice work. It's 2, 1, rest. Stand up nice and tall. Open feet into your nice squat position, heels in, toes out. You're going to give me 30 seconds of just body weight squats just to open up hip flexors before we hit that other side. Lower down, lift and squeeze. Lower down, lift and squeeze. I'm gonna let you take a sip of water after this. Give me 10 seconds right here. When you come down to that mat, it's like you're spreading that floor apart with your feet. Knees press open as you stand up and squeeze that booty. 5 seconds and you shake it out. And 4 and 3, good. 2 and 1, shake it out here. Nice little punch with those legs. Take the sip of water. You're gonna be on your dominant side, stabilizing you. As that left leg goes back, you're gonna be shaky. Your body should be tired here. So I just want you to give yourself some grace if you do get fatigued. Same amount of love on this side though, friends, so don't give up on it. You're gonna lift that left foot and your knee and you're gonna flex through it. You're gonna think about, what is my core doing? You're just setting yourself up here. Take the big inhale, release shoulders. Palms can come together or to your hips. Foot is flexed, knee is working right at hip height. You extend back, 2 and 3, and then you can lift and squeeze. You can give me that hold at the end if you have it, but I want you to think back, 2, 3, holding there for a second before you lift and squeeze. It doesn't have to be a full 3 count hold. I just didn't want you to feel like you were rushing right back to stand, because if you rush to stand, you'll fall out of it. You're here for 30 seconds. You're about 10 seconds in it. The 3 count extension is important to me because I want you to think about your foot being flexed. Now you have that soft bend in your right knee. So right leg is what's stabilizing, and that hip flexor, hamstring is going to be talking. Hip flexor is going to chat a little bit with you. You've got 10 seconds here for me. You've got this. I want you to get one more in. So we'll go over a little bit of that 10-second mark. Yep, right here. Now give me that 3 count back and hold. 3, 2, freeze for me. Bring either palms together or you reach them. Now I need you to pulse that right knee down an inch and up an inch. It's not a big movement and it's not a bounce. You are contracting and pressing through that heel as you drop that knee down really strong, ladies. You've got 8 seconds here, 6 and 5. You've got that hold coming up in 4. I need you to really fight for the hold here. 3 and 2, just breathe. Pick a spot on the floor. You stare at that spot like there's just like a quarter on the ground and you're looking at it. Relax your shoulders. I want you to bring that leg up 1 inch higher because I know that you can. I know that you can. There it is. Hold for me. Yes. Freeze. 5, 4. Back to your squats in 3 and 2. Come all the way back. This time in your squat, you come down halfway up. Lower, squeeze, lift. You come all the way down, halfway up, we lower, squeeze to lift. 1 change left on your legs, that's it. And then we go into your abs, a hint of arms. Really light on arms today, I know. I need you to finish this squat with some control. You got a second position on deck. It's gonna go by so fast. You only got 10 minutes left because I talked to you so much today. I need you to think about what's happening in your heels. Can you drive through your heels, lift your toes, squeeze your booty? I only need 15 seconds left for me right here. In 15 seconds, there's no break. You're opening right into a second position hold. You're gonna wanna take the break. You're gonna want water. Just ignore what your mind is telling you. 5 and 4, second position hold. In 3 and 2, stand all the way up. Open those feet nice and wide. Heels in, toes out. 11 and 1, sink down, sink down, sink down. Get in it, get in it, get in it, get in it. Yes, you're there. Hold. Here's where our mind, we just say, okay, you can take a little bit of a break right here. There's your mind, just tell it. Big inhale, sink down and hold. Isometric hold. Our hips are square, our inner thighs pressing back, our shoulders are relaxed, sink down 1 more inch. This is the only hold you have. So breathe for me. In 10 seconds, we pulse. In 10 seconds, you pulse. You have 45 seconds of work and then you're out of it. We come down to the mat. You're going to be in abs and arms. You have this. Can you pulse down an inch and up an inch here? Here is where you make this really deliberate. Think about how foundational these movements have been. You come down an inch and up an inch. When you drive down an inch, you're driving through your heels. You're pressing your knees back, contracting through your abs for me. 8 seconds. In 7, we're lifting those heels and lowering them just because it's so much fun. I know you can't wait. No pulse, no bounce. In 3, just your heel lift. In 2, in 1, we lift both heels. We lower both heels. We lift both heels. We lower both heels. If you're not available to do that right now, you're just going to hold for me or you stay in your pulse. You have 10 seconds in your heel lifts. We're going to start alternating our heel lift with a pulse to finish. In 5, this is where you finish it. 4, you're there. 3 And 2, alternate your heel lifts with a pulse. So as right heel lifts, you pulse down, left heel lifts, you pulse. Right to pulse, left to pulse. I need you to just burn it out right here. Stay low, stay controlled, be deliberate. Less than 15 seconds, you're out of it. We're getting ready to come down to that mat. You made it through those legs today in 8 and 7. Don't stop. 6, relax those shoulders. Nice. Go 5 and 4. You're there for 3 and 2, 1. You rest. You made it. Stand all the way up. Legs are done. Legs are done. They better be done. I want you to take a big inhale here for me. Come to the back of your mat. Last plank of class today. We've got abs and a little bit of arms. Set your weights down at the front of your mat for me just so we can hit those arms a little bit. Reach down towards those toes and then walk yourself out. I actually cued my private. I made her do these in a modified plank the other day because we were here for so long. Open your feet up and go into your shoulder taps. We are light on those arms today, so I'm hitting your shoulders in those planks. I want you in your taps. I want you to think about your hips staying square. If you need to modify, you modify and you focus on the contraction in your belly. Breathing through this here, all I want you to think about is, can I stay in this plank? Can I keep my hips square? You've got about 6 minutes of work left. What I want you to do in these shoulder taps, and if they're not available, you'll come to forearms. Hold on to it for 10 seconds. Yes, Kathleen, really nice. You've got 8 and 7, good. 6, nice work. Go 5, 4, forearm planks, and 3 and 2. You're there. You're in your forearm plank. Last plank of the day, right here. Less than a minute to go. I want you to open up your feet for me. You've got a right side reach, left side reach. Yep, reach that right hand. Feel the difference if you reach without a tap or if you tap in front of you. If you keep that arm lifted, you're going to feel this a hint of more difficult than if you're just giving me that tap. You've got 15 seconds. These are the worst. So good for your shoulders, though. Lengthening that lever out. You've got to hold for me. All we're going to do is dip to finish in 3 and 2. Hold on to your forearm plank. Pretend like you're going over that imaginary beach ball. Hips go to the right side, hips go to the left side. You have this last little bit in your plank and you are on your back for me. Breathe through it. Shoulders should be warm. 5 seconds here. 4. It's a quick transition, friends. Come right to your back for me in 3 and 2. Nice job. Drop those knees down. You made it through your planks. Come into that nice all 4. Knees into your chest. We're going to move quickly. I want abs to get warm. Knees come right over top of your hips. Point through your toes. Hand behind your head. You're going to lift all the way up. It's a 2-second hold each side. You reach right elbow to left. You hold for 2. You switch, you give me a 2-count hold, and then you come back to that other side. So we're taking our time in that bicycle. It's a 2-second hold for me right here, good. And then you'll switch to that other side. You have about 6 more seconds here before we go ahead and we switch it out quickly in 3 and 2. Now wrap it out, twist in your bicycle, switch and switch. Ooh, those 2-count holds, they kill me. You've got it, switch and switch. Can you think about where your breath is? Can you get both shoulder blades off of this mat? 4 minutes of work, so you got to burn it out right here. Really twisting through those bicycles. You have it. Both toes go up towards the ceiling. We got toe taps on deck in 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. Both feet towards that ceiling. Just tap your ankles. Keep your shoulder blades off of the mat. Tapping those ankles. If it's too much and you want hands behind your head, you can. But what I want you to think is tap. And tap, little taps, go all the way up to the top of that range, just tap. And tap right here, go 10 and 9 more taps, it's 8 and 7 taps, keep fighting. 4, go 5 and 4, you're there. 3 and 2 on 1, bring your head, neck, and shoulders down, knees come into that tabletop position. Hands behind your head. Take a big inhale, lift up to the top. You tap right toe down. You tap left toe down. You bring your elbows towards your knees and then you lower down, start over. Exhale, lift into your crunch. You tap right toe. You tap that left toe. You bring elbows and knees together and then you lower down. Exhale, lift and squeeze. This one is my favorite. You should get warm right from the start if you breathe through it. Don't rush your toe taps. Inhale, tap, exhale, lift. I want you to then bring your knees into your elbows, elbows into your knees, open back up, and then you get your crunch. So you get to lower head, neck, and shoulders at the top every time on purpose. It's like you're resetting, like, okay, I got this. I get to take a break, and then I restart again. Longest change you have. You still have 20 seconds here. Do not rush it. Think your toe taps are going to hit your lower abs. Your knees into your elbows is going to get everything. And then as you lower down and lift back up, you get your upper abs. Hold for me at the top, knees in that nice tabletop position. Lift shoulders up in 3, 2, hold right where you started. Bicycle, 2 count hold each side. Over for 2, switch for 2. You've got it. Over for 2, switch for 2. Fight for it right here for me. You're in your last little bit on your abs. We finished the class with push-ups. There was barely any arms today. I promise I'll hit them on Thursday. I just wanted to get those legs nice and warm. I was pumped for a little deadlift work. Finish out your bicycles right here. Can you just add that twist and twist? Yes, you can. Twist and twist. All you have is toe taps, and then we're in push-ups. That's it. You're right at the end of this. You're doing fabulous. You look nice and strong. If you're not twisting, I'm also fine if you want to pull knees into your chest, keeping head, neck, and shoulders up nice and high. 5 seconds in your bicycle, go into your toe taps in 4 and 3 and 2. Lower down if you need to. Bring both legs towards that ceiling. Now tap those ankles to finish. Tap those ankles. Tap those ankles. We've got push-ups coming your way. 15 seconds in your toe taps. Do not stop. You have this. Little reaches. Little reaches. You've got 10 and 9. You're there for 8. You're really looking strong. Hold on for 4, for 3, knees into your chest on 2, knees into your chest. Rock yourself up. I know your heart rate is up. Hit your push-ups. This is where you finish. You have less than a minute until we're out of here. Your shoulders are going to be on fire. You're pushing up until we are out of here. It's down on a 2 count. Exhale, press, squeeze. If you're on your knees, lift those feet up and think to yourself right here for me as you're in this. Squeeze your booty for me. Nice, really strong. If you feel like you're fatiguing, you can always come all the way down as you press up and give me a full release at the bottom. You're there. Here we go. Final 15 seconds. I'm bringing you right till the end, letting you cut off on purpose because I want you to just really feel that burn. As we end, you're going to go into your child's pose. You're going to give yourself a nice little stretch, and you're going to see me on Thursday. Give me 5 more seconds, 4 more seconds. Good. Finish it. 3 and 2 on 1. Press back. You made it. Find that child's pose. Beautiful job today, ladies. I will see you bright and early